Elden Ring is a 2022 open-world role-playing game created by From Software, a collaborative effort between Hidetaka Miyazaki of Dark Souls fame and Game of Thrones writer George R.R. Martin. Renowned for its remarkable art direction and world building, I've decided to shed a bit of light on the artistic and mythological sources that seem to have influenced its visual design. This is a game that I hold in the highest regard and very close to my heart, so I don't want to waste any more time introducing it. Let us cross beyond the fog. Marika the Eternal is the goddess queen of the Golden Order and servant to the greater will that presides over the lands between. It is by her will that the protagonist and their ilk, the Tarnished, return to restore the Elden Ring and claim the throne as Elden Lord. Though hardly a benevolent saint, the similarities between Marika's final act prior to her death and the manner in which we find her near the finale of the game are abundantly clear. Observe the fresco painting by Fra Angelico, Kreuzigung mit Lanchenstich des Hauptmanns Longinus, simply the piercing of Christ's side if I just butchered the German. As Christ died on the cross to redeem humanity of its sins, Marika shattered the Elden Ring to free humanity from the influence of the greater will and was subsequently crucified upon a rune arc. She returns the guidance of grace to the Tarnished so that they may return, redeeming them from their exile, in a sense. Jesus was stabbed with a spear after some time to ensure that he had indeed passed, and as you can see, Marika has been stabbed with a red lance of unknown origin in the same place. The nature of this lance is unknown to us, though we have reason to believe that this is a shard of the destined death, capable of slaying even the divine. It seems that the greater will, like the Romans, were determined to ensure that Marika had truly met her end.
Upon my name as Godfrey, the first Elden Lord.
Godfrey was the first of the Tarnished and the first Elden Lord as king consort to Queen Marika. A chieftain from the Badlands and demigod hero of the Golden Order, the roots of his imagery and myth lie in that of the Greek demigod Heracles, or Hercules, if you will. The first of the 12 labors of Hercules was to slay the Nemean lion, as depicted by the aptly titled Hercules Strangling the Nemean Lion by Peter Paul Rubens, a Flemish artist from Spain during the late 16th and early 17th centuries. Following his victory, Hercules wore the lion's pelt on his shoulders both as a symbol of might and for armor, as it was virtually impervious to any attack. The parallels become clear visually when we compare Godfrey's portrait to that of the Great Hercules, a 1589 engraving by Hendrik Holtzius. Like Hercules, Godfrey was tasked with slaying a great beast. However, this was the beast that resided within himself as a barbarian. In order to ascend as king consort, Godfrey needed to achieve a level of poise and dignity only made possible by subjugating his savagery and hunger for battle. His willpower manifested in the form of Serash, a lion spears that he wore on his shoulders like a mantle, not unlike Hercules. As with the Nemean hide, he is afforded greater protection and durability so long as Serash remains as an external extension of his strength. But when the time comes, he may shed his kingly companion and his protection, returning to the bloodied berserker he once was.
Mongrel intruder. That tarnished, it seemeth. Yet my purpose standeth unchanged. Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death.
Lord of the Land of Shadow, Mesmer the Impaler is a demigod of the Golden Order and a primary antagonist of the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Connections could be drawn between him and numerous mythological figures, but the one I'd like to focus on today is Hermes and his Roman counterpart, Mercury. In terms of appearance, the similarities could not be more obvious. The oil painting, simply titled Mercury by Evelyn de Morgan, depicts him as a rather lanky man adorned in a red cloth and a winged helmet, clutching the caduceus, a winged staff entwined by two serpents. Mesmer is shown in a more sinister light, befitting his fearsome moniker. He too wears a winged helmet and red cloth, but the wings of his staff are more akin to prongs on a trident. The serpents are not bound to his weapon either, instead protruding from and encircling his body. Mythologically, Mesmer also shares certain traits with Hermes, namely his journey to the underworld, or at least the Elden Ring equivalent. The Odyssey, by Homer, states that Hermes delivered the souls of the foes of Odysseus to Hades in a manner not unlike Charon, ferryman of the dead. Mesmer himself was sent to the Land of Shadow to destroy the Hornsent, enemies of the Golden Order, and deliver their souls from life. However, his current status as ruler of the Land of Shadow makes him more akin to Hades in terms of actual function, or perhaps Satan, depending on how you interpret the serpent imagery. As I've already established, Elden Ring is rather fond of using biblical imagery in relation to its pantheon. This is not the end of the influence of the Renaissance and mythological art on the world of Elden Ring, far from it. Video games are arts themselves, and the masterpieces of today draw upon history's greatest for inspiration and direction. This is just the beginning. But if there's to be a next time, I'll save something for then. Thank you for watching.